Osi Umenyiora, thank you so much for joining us. Won 2 titles playing for the New York Giants for some 9 years.
Absolutely.
And now you're at Wimbledon.
Yeah, imagine that.
Right. What a change. Is this your first time here?
Yeah, it's my first time here, man. Honestly, it's been a wonderful experience. This is such a beautiful place to play a sport. I can't even imagine what that would be like, playing an NFL game in a surrounding like this.
Right, they probably wouldn't let you, would they? So
No.
take you over the grass courts. What's it like that you retired, didn't you, last year, and now based in London, part of the BBC's coverage of the NFL series? What's it like trying to grow the sport that is so huge stateside to a less educated English audience?
Well, I think that's part of my role over here in London, is to kind of educate the people and bring the game to a different audience. I think obviously we all know how huge it is in America. There's obviously some passion for it over here in London because the games are sold out, and the game keeps on growing more and more over here. The more people come over here, the more games we have, the more we educate the people about the game, the bigger it's going to be.
Because we do see NFL games, as you say here, kind of regularly now. At certain points in the season, they get played at Wembley Stadium. Is that just part of an initiative by the NFL in the US to spread the game by having showcase matches around the world?
I think so. They have games in London. They're having a game in Mexico. I think there's talk about having games in China. But I think London is where we really need to focus most of our attention on because of the demographic of the people living in London. And we want to team out here eventually.
Oh, wow. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Have you watched much NFL?
I'm a big NFL, I love the game. I fall in love with it more and more, especially when I learn more and more of the rules. But I live in San Diego, so we have the Chargers there. Unfortunately, we do get disappointed every year. We're always like, this is going to be our year. This is our year, but we're always disappointed.
Yeah, Chargers are a strong team. They got a good quarterback, good young nucleus of players. They should be okay this year. This might be your year.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been an incredible year actually watching it over there. So what would be the things, if you say you're trying to educate the English-British audience to NFL, what would be, say, the key things that people need to know if they're to follow the sport?
Well, obviously the rules of the game, that's number one.
Because people are quick to try and liken it to rugby over here, but it is very different.
It's completely different than rugby. Similar in physicality, but outside of that, the rules are completely different. So educating people about the rules of the game, letting people know how much fun it is, and it's not just stopping and starting and people just hitting each other. There's a lot of technicalities involved in football, and it's as soon as people understand that, I think that the better off their understanding of the game will be.
So how have you adapted to life over here, having spent all those years across the pond?
Yeah, well, I was born here, So,
yes, I heard that.
So
okay.
I'm British by nationality, but I was so young when I left. So when I came over here, it was a complete culture shock. I didn't understand what was going on. I enjoyed the fish and chips, though. I remember that. I had a great time with that. But other than that, it wasn't really too much that I knew. But it's been an interesting experience, and I've loved coming back here, and I'm here for the long haul.
Mushy peas? Do you have that with your fish and chips?
No, I couldn't get into that just yet.
Stick to the basics. Let's talk a little bit of tennis then. I know you've got a really busy day ahead of you. Hopefully get to see some of these matches. But is there a tennis player that impresses you the most that you like to follow?
I like the guy they call Djokovic. Yeah, I think he was an extremely good football player. Tennis player. And Andy Murray, who's, like you said, is going to be playing later. Obviously, he's British, and I think he's a good player also. But outside of that, I haven't really followed tennis as much as I should. But I'm here now, and I'm getting more and more into the sport.
This is the perfect place to do it. I suppose, having spent all those years in America, Serena Williams has been the dominant force of tennis for so long. I don't know if you've ever had the chance to meet her or watch her play. What are your impressions by the great athlete that she is?
Yeah, she's an incredible athlete, man, a physical specimen, the likes of which I don't think we've seen in tennis before. So she's an amazing player. The things that she's done so far has been amazing. Hopefully she'll continue to do that, and much success for the rest of her career.
So where can we catch you next on the BBC?
We have a show. I think it's going to start in September. It's called Race to Super Bowl, and then when the games are out here, I'm going to be calling those games too. So just watch the games. Watch the show every Tuesday. I think it comes on at like 10, 11 o'clock at night on BBC. Okay. So watch that, and then watch the games, and you can see me on there also.
So his home team aside, who is your pick for the upcoming season?
New York Giants.
Really? of course.
Can't even ask me that
Giants
question.
for life?
You did win.
There we go. I love it.
You did win 2 Super Bowls with them. We'll fully understand that. Thank you so much for coming to see us today.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
And enjoy the tennis.
We'll do.
Osi with us here in the studio. What an absolute privilege.